Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering from ELD's Time Vault Games. Here we have Matt on Elves versus the Mog Fanatic on Goblins. What else would you expect with a name like that? He's going to be swinging with little green men. Goblin Lackey, the best start you could be hoping for here. However, there is a Finhorn Health on the other side, which would be happy to trade. He's got those pointy little knives. Is looking for violence. Of course, if left unchecked, he will provide a whole bunch of mana over the course of the game, but not as much of an advantage as Goblin Lackey would. Skirk Prospector, not much of a replacement. Priest of Titania on the other side, certainly an upgrade from the Finhorn Elves, can potentially tap for several mana compared to just the one, and Masticore shows up very quickly. So we got Goblin Warchief on Mog Fanatic's side, and Masticore with Elves and a bunch of mana. This could get out of hand very, very quickly. This is a super dangerous spot. See how this gets played. So Siege Gang Commander shows up, and this could kill the Masticore. However, it can regenerate once an untap happens. So this is a tense board state. Let's see how he proceeds. He's actually going to send with the Siege Gang and the War Chief. That is going to elect to block. And it's going to basically be just trading the Siege Gang Commander for the Masticore there. The 2 damage from the Siege Gang, plus the 2 damage from sacrificing the Skirk Prospector for red mana, and then finally to the Siege Gang for the 2 damage. So that was actually a really clean answer to Masticore. I don't love that block, but it's difficult to see how far out of hand things would have went otherwise. Survival of the Fittest, and Squee is acquired. Going to produce advantage over the long term. But will there be a long term? You can never really count on that with Goblins. Very explosive deck. This War Chief giving all of the Goblins haste. Another Siege Gang out of nowhere could provide an extra 5 damage a turn to close things out over the course of just 2 turns. We're in Ranger. Didn't quite follow that. Gaia's Cradle and a Priest of Titania. Decks they want to be doing. Just 1 card off of this Goblin Ringleader. That is not where you want to be. That is a low roll for sure. And a basic forest being fetched out. It looks like we got a Gem Palm Incinerator taking out this Quirion Ranger. Rather than the Priest of Titania, which is interesting, I feel like Priest of Titania is the card to hit there. Let me know what you think in the comments. My logic there being that any additional 1-drop Elves powers up this Priest very quickly, whereas the Quirion Ranger doesn't do very much at all on its own. Goblins continuing to pressure the life total with Elves. Have a long game with Survival of the Fittest and Squee, so you really can't just let them sit around forever. Gaia's Cradle, one of the most powerful cards in Premodern. Can actually use gold border versions, however, which are still expensive. Not nearly as expensive as an authentic Gaia's Cradle, but gold border ones from those World Championship decks are in fact legal for Premodern play. I have one of those from the late 90s. Those decks lying around with the 4 Gaia Cradles in it. Good find. Dig that out. Wirewood Symbiote picking up Quirion Ranger, allowing it to be discarded to go get Deranged Hermit. That's a lot of power out of nowhere. 9 power. And the Wirewood Symbiote will allow this Deranged Hermit to get picked up and replayed. So this is super dangerous. Gem Palm Incinerator targets Quirion Ranger. Matt picks up the Deranged Hermit, shrinking the squirrels for now, but not wanting to have to pay the upkeep cost, perhaps, or just wanting more squirrels coming in. Wow, this is a lot. Everything's gone wrong. Oh no, Goblin Sharpshooter. As it turns out, didn't much matter how he played that. Goblin Sharpshooter is just an absolute massacre. Every time that a creature dies, he's going to untap. Those triggers can stack up as well if multiple creatures die at the same time. But Goblin Sharpshooter would have been able to kill the Deranged Hermit, and then the squirrels would have shrunk anyways, and then would have just murder all of those. I mean, this guy is absolutely relentless to a board full of 1/1s. You could literally have a million 1/1s. It does not matter. He will kill them all with a smile on his face, as that game is closed out in the blink of an eye. Quite the ending to the last game. Matt's going to hope to avoid anything like that ever happening to him again in his entire life. But a Llanowar Elf, that gets taken out. The old Bolt of the Bird philosophy. True now as it was when it was founded. To be guiding principle. Just stopping that early mana acceleration can make all the difference in the world. If your opponent stumbles, they potentially just hand you the game. That's worthwhile. Wow, Pyrokinesis taking out a couple of Wirewood Symbiotes. This is a very forceful line so far. It's all of the creature removal. And cycling a Gem Palm Incinerator for no value just to draw a card. Yikes. Stuck on 3 mana total if he sacrifices the Skirk Prospector. Manages to get out a Goblin Pile Driver, a little bit of a clock, so we're going to be looking at 4 damage a turn. But the survival on the other side of the table, certainly dangerous. Any creature to go along with it, that's going to start pulling himself out of this hole. Oh, Masticore's, that's a nasty one. See how answer this. Goblins facing down. Masticore. Active survival. Don't see a squee yet, but that's not going to be too difficult to find. What's he got? Cycling Gem Palm to do 2 to it? Is that what we just witnessed? Skirk Prospector gets pinged. I don't think I've ever seen worse Gem Palm Incinerators. Stuck on 2 lands. I mean, at least they're drawing towards more mana, I guess. I mean, he really needs a couple more lands to get into this game. The Rishadenport. Quirion Ranger is getting pitched to survival, as is Genesis and Squee. So Squee is going to handle the Masticore's recurring upkeep cost. Genesis is going to start to build more of an advantage as well. Basically drawing 3 cards a turn here with a commanding board presence against an opponent who has stumbled badly on their mana. Schadenport may be some value. I think there might be a Karplusan Forest in his hand. Was in fact a Karplusan. Alright, so he's back in the game in terms of mana. Still has this Masticore to contend. Double ping opens the door for this Naturalize. So Naturalize takes out Masticore. The 2-for-1 trade. And Matt has significant amount of card advantage potential. See what he ends up doing. You tutor up that Hermit. Start putting this game away. Got a Mountain on board. I don't know if he plays Anger. That is a card that occasionally accompanies the Hermit. Allows for massive damage out of nowhere. So much creature removal. And Matron. Grab a War Chief. In hand for now. That proceeds. He will try and take the control route here, getting out the Masticore. Trying to keep that board free of goblins. His mana problems in the rearview mirror, now up to 6 mana. He'll be able to play multiple spells a turn. Goblin Ringleader. Finds a couple of goblins. One of them's a matron. You got to take it. That's totally fine. That War Chief also going to reduce the cost of future goblins by an additional 1. Total of 2 less. Value on these cards starts to go way up as you pay less for them. Of course, it also gives everything haste. There's the Deranged Hermit. Masticore discards the Squee. It returns from graveyard every turn. Fun ride for him. 4 coming in. Sadly, no ability to make this Hermit hasty. That would be really strong. Wirewood Symbiote and Deranged Hermit. If he has removal, this Hermit can go safely back to hand. Oh, there's a Pyrokinesis. There's a lot of damage. So let's see here. I guess that's targeting the Hermit, the Wirewood Symbiote, and the Masticore. Oh no. Goblin Sharpshooter again. I didn't quite catch how that was enough damage to the Masticore. Let me know if you see how that might have been played out, but this is just a ton of damage crossing over onto Matt's side of the table. And there's the handshake. Goblins, man, showing some real resilience. What a dangerous deck. Thank you for watching. For more magic from ELD's Time Vault games, be sure to subscribe and check out more videos just for you over here.